Well, what are we fixing today? Well, today, my Home Assistant is being Home Assistant. It's being a little needy. Uh, it's got a problem where about every 3 days, it starts to bog down. It won't let me do reboots of the Home Assistant instance real fast. It goes real slow. Sensors don't come up quick. It's getting, yeah, right? So I thought I could fix this with an SSD, and it helped. But still, about every 3 days, it's crap. And what I do to fix it is there's a file in the config called homeassistant.db, which is the internal database recorder for the sensors in Home Assistant. I just wipe it. Let's go in, delete. Yeah, it comes back. Everything's fine. It's great until it builds up. You know, and I have the recorder set to like 2 days and purge every day. But and I got some of the sensors shut off, but it doesn't seem to help. It keeps building. After about 3 days, it should have. After about 3 days, it's getting crappy. If I let it go further, it gets up to about 2 gigabytes in size and 1.8, 2 gigabytes, and that database version that's in there just doesn't work with that. It's like those bird feeders behind me. You overfill them. Seed falls out. It doesn't want to come out the bottom. Falls over the top. Makes a big mess on the ground. So we're going to replace the database instances that the Home Assistant originally came with, and we're going to put in an official Home Assistant add-on called MariaDB, and we're going to make it better. So let's see. The other thing is, today I don't have my office because my wife is busy making masks for people. She's a seamstress, and we have a business, and that's how we're eating. So, that's cool. So she's busy there. So I don't get the office. So this is why I'm out in the yard. Basically, it's for the birds. Let's go to my computer. Hello. This is my Home Assistant instance. As I said, there's no camera inside today because I'm in the kitchen table and working from a laptop instead of from my studio-ish equipment stuff going on upstairs, because the sewing room is being occupied by my wife, who is sewing masks for people. Anyway, you can see I have a few sensors. I probably have 25 Sonoffs. I have a whole bunch of temperature and humidity and all kinds of sensors. So I feed a lot of data in Home Assistant, and my database is overmatched right now. So in order to fix that, we're going to load MariaDB. So this is how I did it, and this is working for me, so you're welcome to copy anything from here. You get MariaDB. It's one of the official add-ons from the official add-on store. So this is what I'm running now. Click on add-on store. We're in supervisor here. Scroll down. You don't have to add a repository because this is an official add-on. And we'll find MariaDB right here. Click on that and do an install. This only takes a few seconds. And it'll pop up. And I'm going to take a drink. There we go. This is, you can read this at your leisure. Options, all kinds of stuff here. And for more on, for more on recorder and database and all that, I'll give you this link. This is the Home Assistant IO integrations link for recorder. This gives you pretty much all the information you want to know. You can use a number of different databases. If you're a database guru and you know what you're doing, you can put any external database in here and have Home Assistant suck data from it, and then you could suck data from the other side of it if you want. This Maria, you can suck data from the other side. So there's all kinds of opportunities here, but the SQLite that comes internally is really intended to allow it to work on a Raspberry small disk, small instance of Home Assistant, and then as you grow, you can grow your database by changing to something a little more ready for bunches of data, or 2 gigs of data like I have. You have all these options. You can try these things. If you come up with some configuration that works really cool and does something nice, share it with us. Share it on Discord. This is great. Right here is some sample configs. We'll go over that. And here is database engine custom strings that you can add. And the one that we're adding is a lot like this with password. It's a lot like this, maybe more like this. I don't know. It's like one of these. So SQL user DB. Okay, so it's like this. I played around with a few, and this is the one I got to work. I'll show you that a little later. We don't have to scroll up. Come back over here. Now we're back in the add-on, the Maria add-on. Let's show you where we're at. All right. It is installed. Now we have to set the configuration. Now here's the configuration that I came up with that works for me. I'm gonna copy this. Delete that crap. Copy this. So what everything is here, we're going to connect as the Home Assistant database. We're going to add a database that's called Home Assistant within Maria here. I think that's what that means. And the login to that is, this is my username. It's a Doctor Who thing. Look it up if you're interested. And the host will, since we're internal to the Home Assistant specific Docker container inside, when you just say host Home Assistant, it knows what to do with it. The IP address changes and does different things. We don't need to care. You can just say Home Assistant and it'll talk to it. So here is the password. Now I'll show you the password. Now this is the password I used the other day. But to get a cool password like this that you don't have to like fight with, I go to this place, UIDgenerator.net, and here this is a UID which is used for disk. So if you're formatting a disk in Unix or something, it can generate one itself. If you need one, you can do this. I also use this. I saw Frank use these for the IDs in automations when you're doing them manually. So I use that for that too. This is a unique number. Pretty damn hard to guess. And if you just refresh the page, you get a new number, say. Another number? There. Okay. I like that one. Let's copy that one out. That'll be my password. Somewhere over here. And just paste it here. You could put in whatever password you want, but it should be complicated and unique and hard to guess. And it's only if somebody from the outside tries to see your database and tries to just log into it, you don't want them to just let them come in. If they're going to have to come in here, find and know that in Home Assistant in the add-on that's where the password is stored. You can't put exclamation secrets here because it won't work in the string, in the recorder string later. I've tried and I've tried. Maybe somebody knows how to do it. Let me know. I can't get that part of it to work. So since if I come in here and set this and say, oh, I think somebody hacked into it, I want to change the password, you can just come in here, put in a new string, reload, restart the automation, and it will, stop it and restart it, and it will actually set the new password for that user and go. The data is being stored from the back end from Home Assistant separately. This is your access to it. So it sets this password in the Maria every time, I think, when you restart it. So you can change this password on the fly is what I'm trying to say. I'll show you that later, where you can see it doing that. So this is, you just put in the password, and then rights to that user is that the person and on the host, and the database, so it's referring to that, referring to that, referring to that, and give it all the permissions. So that works for me. If you want to change something, change it, restart it, see if it works. If the database does not connect and it does not work, what happens is you don't get any recorded data, and down here in the notifications, you end up getting an error. It says, hey, I can't record anything, recorder ain't working. And you say, oh, okay, so let me try something else and then we'll fix it. That's how I've hacked into this and tried to make it go. Once you add this, and I'll put this in the notes, once you have this going, you do a save. Always remember to do a save. You don't need to do this. Let's go back up here. Come on, follow me, and do a start. If you get the spinny thing, it means the configuration's good, and it comes back like that, it means it's running. Come down here and take a check at the log, and here you can say making files, create a new database, blah blah blah, doing some stuff, checking corruption. Since it's new, it's fine. Alright, do a refresh here again. Here, create user Baruza and update rights. So here it's reading the data from the add-on configuration and it's creating the user, and then it's allowing them to go to Home Assistant. So the password is being set up right here. So if I go in and change the password, let's do that. That would be awesome, right? Let's do that. Let's go over here, get a new number, copy. Yeah, I'll figure out the right one yet. There we go. Show you what happens. What happened here? Well, that's fun. I didn't put all that crap in there. It added a bunch of stuff. Well, interesting. Okay, throw me for a loop, that's fine. I'm just going to put this back in. Away, delete. We'll see if it rewrites its configuration again. And then I'm going to come back in here. Oh, let's just make a new one. Ends with CD. Is it here? No, it's always over here. Let's change this. Paste. Alright. Let's leave that. Save. Now there's no other things in here, right? This is cool, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know that they would allow it rewrites its own config, I guess. Alright. Let's do that. It's saved. Let's do a restart. See what happens. I can always kill the container. Yeah, see, it's writing stuff in there. Okay. So here's the restart. It says using existing system, so it doesn't have to reinitialize the database. It's doing some stuff. Checking for corruptions. Redoing the database. Setting up the rights, and it's connected and it's going. So you can see if you need to change the database. So see, that's interesting that it changes this. I'm not going to fight with it. Oh, it knows, it remembers my old login. And it has another login, so it allows login from both of them. Well, if this confuses you, you can always go back. It's confusing me, and I'm just about ready to do this. You can always do an uninstall and reinstall because it's just a container, and the data can go away. Anyway, interesting, right? Let's do a restart. See what happens. Invalid YAML. See? So this all seemed happy. This says it's invalid. Look. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to uninstall it. And reinstall it because it's just data. I'm going to come over here and get my configuration again. It's installed. Default configuration. Paste in my configuration. Come up here. Give me a new password. Yeah, I remembered which one to go to this time. Go over here. Paste. Alright. Happy, joy. Oh, gotta save it. There we go. And start. Let's see what it does. Does it rewrite that thing? No, it didn't seem to rewrite it. At least not yet. Refresh. Okay. Add a reviewer. Start. Everything's happy there. This hasn't been rewritten. Doesn't say invalid. So that's kind of weird. It's okay though. Weird things happen. If it blows up, just start over. Alright. The next thing we're going to do is edit the recorder.yaml. And you can see this is how I have my configuration. I got to reload my page. My configuration.yaml is straight up include statements. So if you look, I understand. If you look, I have, if there's no added, well that one does that because of YAML problem. But if there's no added information like map, I'm not adding any configuration, I'm not adding configuration sun or system health. It's just these have to be there in order to enable the integrations. So it becomes a null. I'm using include statements for all this, so I only have 46 lines in my thing, my configuration.yaml. The one we're looking at today is recorder.yaml, so all my stuff is in something called recorder.yaml. Recorder.yaml is here. This is the configuration I had with my old database stuff. 2 days, purge it every day. These are the things I want to include, things I don't want to include. If you want to know more about that, again, the recorder homeassistant.io recorder thing will help you with that. What we're going to add today is this line, information from the recorder. My user is Baruza. That's a Doctor Who thing. And oh, password. I need to change the password. So let's go back over here. I need to get this password, because this password and this username, and do I need the database? Not sure. This password and username has to match here. Oops. So I got extra characters in here. Better yet, let's go over here, because let's see. CA7, right? CA7, let's just copy from here. That's better. So the string is there. Let's make this out of the way. String is the username, the password, at core-maria/home assistant. Character set UTF-8. So you have to add that, and now it's going to go find that database, which is the MariaDB that we just loaded. Save this. Alright. So, like I said, username, password has to match username, password. Oh, I missed a 7 there, see? Do I got it on here? I was going to make sure. 7. So it wouldn't have worked. So, always double check your password, make sure it's correct. Starts with a 419. 419. Alright. That's that string. Now the only thing we have to do is restart Home Assistant. So let's check the configuration. Configuration's good. Restart. It's going to take a few extra seconds, minutes or so, because it has to find the database and load initial stuff. So this will be a little bit slower than your normal reload, but not too long. Okay, we're back. There's the notifications. There's no notifications. If there was a problem with the string or recorder wasn't working, notifications would have told you that there's a problem. Let's go and just check the add-on. Take a look. Did it do weird things with the config again? Nope. Happy with that. Alright. Let's go back to Home Assistant. And they're going to be pretty much flatline except for the data that's just come in. And you can see I have some data that has just come in. So some of these senses are on about every 3 minutes. So I have data moving. The other thing you can do to check what's going on is I have an add-on called Log Viewer. This shows the last of the logs in your Home Assistant log. It's nice to have it in the panel here, and you can see. So I have, things going on that have been going on. This Google Cloud config is probably fixed with the latest Home Assistant update, but I haven't loaded it because I've had some other trouble with it. I have a couple custom integrations, and I have a script which I deleted and I need to change a reference for. So, anyway, nothing in here about recorder or can't log data and no notification. So it seems to be working. We got more data. Couple data points on some of them. So if you see this, that means that you're getting some data over time, and this is over 2 minutes, so you know it's working. Next thing we can do is to do this little house cleaning. So let's go over here. This is a Samba link to my config folder. Right now the homeassistant.db, what you saw originally, was 126 meg. That was from about 6 hours. So whatever. I'm going to resort these. And these two files can now be deleted. They will not be edited again unless you go into SQLite. This is a history recorder from that other thing. So now it's always a good idea to have a backup, and you can look at one of my other videos. You can look on the screen to find it if you want to learn how to do backups, but it's safe to delete this file pretty much anytime. If this file gets up to, like, I was getting up to 1.8, 1.9, 2 gigabytes, yeah, just delete it and it'll recreate. Just don't restart Home Assistant right away, because then it's going to be complaining a bit. But yeah, delete it. You can also delete the log file, I believe, but that one doesn't get very big. So delete this file if it's like more than, I delete it if it's like more than 800 or 900 meg, because after that it starts to be a problem, starts to slow you down. Right now we're just going to dump it. Delete, delete, and we're going to delete this log file. Delete, 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 and they're gone. So now when you do snapshots, that won't be there. The data will be stored in an add-on, so you'll still have the data in your snapshot, but it won't be in this config folder. All right. Anything else? I think that's it for today. Still getting data, so you know that's good. So if I helped you out any, you can subscribe if you like. I can give you more content like this. If you want to help the channel, that's one good way. There's some other good ways in the notes below, to encourage me to continue to make you crazy. If you can always give me a like. Likes are good. If you get a dislike, give me a dislike. That's cool too. Just tell me why, so I know what to fix, because I can't improve if you just say I don't like it and then don't tell me why. I got other videos to watch, so you can see them here. And until next time, thanks and stay safe.